The entire history of India in 25 minutes. Imagine a world shrouded in mystery, where ancient civilizations rise and fall like waves in the vast cosmic sea. This is the land now known as India. Long before the empires of emerald and gold, before the sands of time swallowed kingdoms whole, there existed a civilization so enigmatic, so profound, it baffles the very essence of understanding. This is the story of the Indus Valley Civilization. In the distant reaches of antiquity around 3,300 BCE, nestled along the banks of the mighty Indus River and its tributaries, a marvel of human ingenuity began to flourish. The Indus Valley Civilization, also known as the Harappan Civilization, was born amidst the whispers of the wind and the caress of the monsoon rains. What wonders they wrought, these ancient souls! Their cities, such as Mohenjo-Daro and Harappa, stood as testament to their prowess, laid out in precise grids with streets wide and straight. Towering citadels and granaries reached for the heavens, while intricate drainage systems whispered secrets of engineering, marvels lost to time. Commerce danced upon the river's surface like a shimmering veil, linking the Indus Valley with distant lands in a tapestry of trade and cultural exchange. Artisans crafted exquisite pottery and seals, their delicate forms telling stories of gods and beasts, of life and death, with each stroke of their chisels. Unfortunately, tragedy found its home amidst this splendor. For reasons still veiled in shadow, the flames of decline licked at the edges of their civilization. Around 1900 BCE, whispers of unrest echoed through the streets, and the once bustling cities fell silent, swallowed by the sands of time. From the ashes of the Harappan civilization, we flow to the Vedic period, a time of myth and legend, of gods and demons, where the very fabric of reality seemed to shimmer with divine presence. Around 1500 BCE, as the Indus Valley Civilization waned, a new chapter in the saga of India began to unfold. The Aryans, a nomadic people from Central Asia, swept across the vast plains of the subcontinent, bringing with them a rich tapestry of culture and belief. In the heart of this age lay the Vedas, sacred texts revered as the very breath of the cosmos. From the depths of oral tradition emerged hymns and rituals, chants that soared upon the wings of devotion and reverence. Through the fire of sacrifice and the rhythm of prayer, the Aryans sought communion with the divine forces that shaped their world. The Rig Veda, oldest of the Vedas, sings of gods and heroes, of battles won and lost upon the fields of destiny. Agni, the god of fire, danced amidst the flames, while Indra, the thunderous wielder of lightning, strode across the heavens like a colossus. With each offering and incantation, the Aryans sought to appease these celestial beings, to ensure the harmony of the cosmos. But amidst the celestial dance, mortal concerns too found their place. Society was organized into varnas, or classes, each with its own duties and responsibilities. Brahmins, the priestly caste, guarded the sacred flame of knowledge, while warriors defended the realm with valor and strength. Merchants and artisans plied their trade, while laborers toiled in fields ripe with the promise of sustenance. The Vedic age was not without its strife and conflict, as tribes vied for dominance and power. Battles were fought, alliances forged and broken, as the wheel of fortune spun its eternal dance. The dawn of a new era, the rise of the Mauryan Empire, a saga of triumph and tribulation that reshaped the very landscape of ancient India. In the crucible of the 4th century BCE, amidst the chaos of warring states and fractured kingdoms, emerged a figure of unparalleled vision and ambition, Chandragupta Maurya, like a tempest upon the horizon, he swept across the plains of the Indian subcontinent, forging alliances and shattering empires in his inexorable march towards greatness. Under Chandragupta's banner, the Maurya Empire rose like a colossus, its dominion stretching from the snow-capped peaks of the Himalayas to the sun-drenched shores of the Deccan Plateau. With the wisdom of his counselor, the legendary Chanakya, Chandragupta established a centralized state, its bureaucracy as vast and intricate as the cosmic dance of the heavens. Yet it was his grandson, Ashoka the Great, who would etch his name upon the annals of history in letters of fire and blood. Ascending to the throne in 268 BCE, Ashoka's reign was marked by conquest and conquest. But amidst the clash of arms, a seed of enlightenment took root within his soul, transforming the warrior king into a beacon of compassion and wisdom. Driven by remorse for the bloodshed wrought by his conquests, Ashoka embraced the teachings of Buddhism, forsaking the path of violence for the path of peace and righteousness. Across the length and breadth of his empire, he erected pillars and edicts proclaiming his devotion to the welfare of all beings, regardless of caste or creed. Unfortunately, even the mightiest of empires are but fleeting shadows upon the sands of time. With the passing of Ashoka, the Maurya Empire began to unravel, its once unstoppable momentum slowed by internal strife and external pressures. By 185 BCE, the flames of Mauryan glory flickered and died, leaving naught but echoes in the wind and ruins amidst the dust. With the passing of the Maurya Empire, the stage was set for a new chapter in the saga of India's history. Enter the Gupta Empire, a golden age of art, culture, and intellectual brilliance that illuminated the subcontinent like the first rays of dawn after a long night. Around the dawn of the 4th century CE, amidst the verdant plains of northern India, rose the Gupta dynasty, its rulers imbued with the spirit of enlightenment and innovation. Under the visionary leadership of Chandragupta I, the Gupta Empire began its ascent, forging alliances and consolidating power with a deft hand. But it was under the reign of Chandragupta's grandson, the illustrious Chandragupta II, that the Gupta Empire reached the zenith of its glory. Like a patron of the arts and sciences, Chandragupta II presided over a renaissance unrivaled in its splendor. From the ivory towers of Pataliputra to the bustling streets of Ujjain, the Gupta Empire thrived as a beacon of civilization and refinement. In the courts of the Gupta kings, poets and scholars gathered like stars in the firmament, their words weaving tapestries of beauty and wisdom. The Sanskrit language, refined and polished to perfection, flourished under their patronage, giving birth to timeless classics such as the Kama Sutra and the plays of Kalidasa. But it was not only in the realm of art and literature that the Gupta Empire excelled. Across the land, temples and stupas rose in homage to the divine, their spires reaching towards the heavens in silent supplication. Trade flourished along the ancient routes of the Silk Road, linking the Gupta Empire with distant lands in a tapestry of commerce and cultural exchange. By the mid-6th century CE, the Gupta Empire began to wane, its splendor dimmed by internal strife and external pressures. Waves of invaders swept across the northern frontiers, hastening the empire's decline until, like a candle snuffed out by the wind, it vanished into the annals of history. As the Gupta Empire waned, the Indian subcontinent entered a period of decentralization and fragmentation. Regional powers such as the Pallavas, Chalukyas, and Rashtrakutas emerged, each carving out their own spheres of influence. It was a time of artistic flourishing, with magnificent temple complexes like the Shore Temple at Mahabalipuram and the rock-cut temples of Ellora and Ajanta bearing testament to the ingenuity and craftsmanship of the era. Trade routes crisscrossed the land, connecting India with distant lands such as Southeast Asia and China, fostering cultural exchange and economic prosperity. The Delhi Sultanate stands as a pivotal chapter in Indian history, marking the consolidation of Muslim rule in the subcontinent. Founded by Qutb al-Din Aibak in 1206 after the Battle of Tarain, the Sultanate encompassed much of northern India and parts of present-day Pakistan. The early sultans, known as the Slave dynasty, were followed by the Khalji and Tughlaq dynasties, each leaving their mark on the region through architectural marvels like the Qutub Minar and Tughlaqabad Fort. The Sultanate's zenith came under the rule of Alauddin Khalji, whose military campaigns expanded its borders and established a centralized administrative system. However, internal strife and external invasions, notably by the Mongols and Timur, weakened the Sultanate, paving the way for the rise of the Mughal Empire. Nestled amidst the rocky terrain of the Deccan Plateau, the Vijayanagara Empire emerged as a bastion of Hindu resistance against the encroaching powers of the Delhi Sultanate. Founded by Harihara I and Bukharaya Thun in 1336, the empire reached its zenith under the reign of Krishnadevaraya in the 16th century. Vijayanagara's capital, Hampi, became a beacon of art, culture and architecture, with grand monuments like the Vitala Temple and the Virupaksha Temple adorning its skyline. The empire's military prowess, coupled with its diplomatic finesse, allowed it to withstand repeated invasions by the Deccan sultanates. However, internal conflicts and the Battle of Talikota in 1565, where the combined forces of the Deccan sultanates dealt a decisive blow to Vijayanagara, led to its eventual decline and fragmentation. Amidst the clash of civilizations, a remarkable synthesis emerged. The great Indian epics, the Ramayana and the Mahabharata, mingled with the teachings of Sufi mystics and Persian poets, giving birth to a rich tapestry of literature and philosophy. Indo-Islamic architecture flourished, with magnificent mosques and mausoleums rising alongside Hindu temples and Jain shrines, blending the spiritual traditions of East and West in a symphony of stone and mortar. But perhaps the greatest legacy of the medieval period lies in the resilience and diversity of India's people. Despite centuries of upheaval and strife, the subcontinent remained a melting pot of cultures, languages and religions, each contributing to the rich tapestry of Indian civilization. Now we step into the realm of grandeur and splendor, where the Mughal Empire casts its majestic shadow across the landscape of Indian history. From the shimmering courts of Agra to the bustling bazaars of Delhi, let us traverse the corridors of power and intrigue where emperors ruled as gods upon the earth. In the year 1526, a pivotal moment unfolded upon the plains of Panipat. Babur, a descendant of Timur and Genghis Khan, clashed with the Sultan of Delhi, Ibrahim Lodi, in a battle that would alter the course of Indian history. With the thunder of cannons and the clash of steel, Babur emerged victorious, laying the foundations of the Mughal Empire upon the blood-soaked soil of Hindustan. Under the reign of Babur's descendants, the Mughal Empire blossomed into a golden age of art, architecture, and culture. The visionary Emperor Akbar, with his policy of religious tolerance and administrative reforms, presided over an era of unparalleled prosperity and harmony. His court, adorned with scholars, poets, and artists from across the known world, became a crucible of innovation and creativity. Yet it was Akbar's grandson, the illustrious Shah Jahan, who would leave the most enduring mark upon the annals of history. With a heart aflame with love and longing, Shah Jahan erected a monument to immortalize his beloved wife, Mumtaz Mahal. Thus, amidst the banks of the Yamuna River, the Taj Mahal rose like a shimmering tear upon the cheek of eternity, a testament to the power of love and the genius of human craftsmanship. In the 17th century, the winds of change swept across the Indian Ocean, heralding the arrival of European trading companies eager to exploit the riches of the subcontinent. The Portuguese, Dutch, French, and British East India companies established trading posts along the coasts of India, vying for dominance in the lucrative spice and textile markets. From the bustling port of Goa to the palm-fringed shores of Bengal, these European powers left an indelible mark upon the fabric of Indian society. But it was the British East India Company that emerged as the preeminent player in the grand theatre of Indian history. Through a combination of military might, economic influence, and political manoeuvring, the British gradually expanded their control over Indian territories, laying the groundwork for the colonization of the subcontinent. The turning point came in 1757, amidst the smoke and chaos of the Battle of Plassey. The British East India Company, under the leadership of Robert Clive, decisively defeated the forces of the Nawab of Bengal, paving the way for the company's ascendancy in Indian affairs. With each passing decade, the company's dominion expanded, as puppet rulers were installed and treaties were signed, often under duress or coercion. By the mid-19th century, the British Raj, or rule, was firmly entrenched in the fabric of Indian society. Following the Indian Rebellion of 1857, also known as the Sepoy Mutiny, or the First War of Independence, direct rule by the British Crown was established, marking a new chapter in India's colonial history. The Raj was characterised by exploitation, economic policies favouring British interests, and the suppression of Indian nationalist movements seeking self-determination and independence. Yet, amidst the shadow of colonial oppression, a flame of resistance burned bright in the hearts of India's sons and daughters. From the pens of intellectuals like Raja Ram Mohan Roy to the battlefields led by figures like Mahatma Gandhi, Indian nationalist movements sought to reclaim their dignity, rights, and sovereignty from the grip of colonial rule. The Indian independence movement, a stirring saga of sacrifice, courage, and resilience that reverberated across the subcontinent and captured the imagination of the world. As the 19th century unfolded, the seeds of discontent sowed by centuries of colonial rule began to germinate, giving rise to a groundswell of opposition against British domination. From the halls of academia to the bustling streets of Indian cities, voices clamoured for freedom, justice, and self-determination. The Indian National Congress, founded in 1885 as a forum for political discourse and reform, emerged as the vanguard of the independence movement. Under the leadership of figures like Dadapai Nauroji, Gopal Krishna Gokhale, and later Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, the Congress became a beacon of hope for millions of Indians yearning for liberation from the yoke of colonial oppression. Gandhi, affectionately known as the Mahatma, or Great Soul, became the guiding light of the independence movement, leading India on a path of non-violent resistance and civil disobedience. Through acts of satyagraha, or truth force, Gandhi and his followers sought to confront injustice with unwavering courage and moral integrity, inspiring countless others to join the struggle for freedom. The Salt March of 1930, where Gandhi and a band of followers marched 240 miles to the Arabian Sea to protest the British salt tax, became a defining moment in the independence movement, capturing the world's attention and galvanizing support for India's cause. Yet the road to independence was fraught with challenges and setbacks. The Second World War, with its upheavals and disruptions, brought new complexities to India's struggle for freedom. In 1942, the Quit India movement, spearheaded by Gandhi and the Congress, demanded an end to British rule, leading to widespread protests and civil unrest. Finally, on the stroke of midnight, on August 15, 1947, India emerged from the shadows of colonialism to embrace the light of freedom and sovereignty. With the words of Jawaharlal Nehru's Tryst with Destiny speech echoing in the hearts of millions, India embarked on a new journey as a sovereign nation, charting its own course amidst the currents of history. The dawn of India's independence in 1947 was a momentous occasion, yet it was shadowed by the tragic events of the Partition, a tumultuous chapter in the nation's history marked by communal violence, displacement, and untold human suffering. As the British Empire prepared to relinquish its hold on the Indian subcontinent, the question of India's future governance loomed large. The Indian National Congress, representing the aspirations of a united and secular India, clashed with the Muslim League led by Muhammad Ali Jinnah, which advocated for the creation of a separate Muslim state. Amidst mounting tensions and communal violence, the British Parliament passed the Indian Independence Act of 1947, paving the way for the partition of British India into two independent nations, India and Pakistan. The Radcliffe Line, drawn by British lawyer Cyril Radcliffe, delineated the borders between the two countries, dividing regions with mixed Hindu-Muslim populations along religious lines. On August 14, 1947, Pakistan was born as an independent nation, comprising West Pakistan, present-day Pakistan, and East Pakistan, present-day Bangladesh. The following day, August 15, 1947, India emerged as a sovereign republic, with Jawaharlal Nehru assuming office as its first Prime Minister. Yet the joy of independence was overshadowed by the horrors of partition. Millions of Hindus, Muslims, and Sikhs found themselves on the wrong side of the newly drawn borders, leading to mass migrations, sectarian violence, and widespread bloodshed. Trains filled with refugees became scenes of unimaginable tragedy, as families were torn apart and lives were lost in the chaos of communal strife. The legacy of partition continues to haunt the collective memory of India and Pakistan, leaving scars that run deep across generations. As we bring our journey through Indian history to a close, we arrive at the doorstep of modern India, a vibrant tapestry of progress, challenges, and aspirations that continues to unfold with each passing day. In the 7 decades since gaining independence, India has undergone a remarkable transformation, emerging as the world's largest democracy and a global economic powerhouse. The founding fathers and mothers of the nation, inspired by the ideals of justice, liberty, and equality, laid the foundations of a secular and inclusive republic enshrined in the Constitution of India. Under the visionary leadership of figures like Jawaharlal Nehru, Indira Gandhi, and Atal Bihari Vajpayee, India embarked on a journey of nation-building guided by the principles of socialism, secularism, and non-alignment. The Green Revolution and White Revolution brought unprecedented growth in agriculture and dairy sectors, propelling India towards self-sufficiency and prosperity. The winds of change blew across the Indian landscape in the 1990s as economic liberalisation policies unleashed the entrepreneurial spirit of the Indian people, leading to rapid economic growth and globalisation. India's IT and software industries flourished, earning the nation a reputation as a global leader in technology and innovation. Yet, amidst the triumphs of progress, India grapples with a myriad of challenges, including poverty, inequality, corruption, and environmental degradation. The nation's journey towards development is marked by the dichotomy of soaring skyscrapers and sprawling slums, shining metropolises, and rural hinterlands still awaiting the fruits of progress. In the realm of geopolitics, India asserts itself as a regional power and a champion of multilateralism, navigating a complex web of alliances and rivalries on the global stage. And there you have it, the entire history of India. For more content like this, please comment, like and subscribe to Chrono Tales.